Annyeong and welcome to Hallyujuku, starring Brandon Cooper and myself, PD Ray. This is episode 48. Well, that escalated quickly. Enjoy! Buenos nachos, amigos. Welcome to another episode of Hallyujuku, your gateway into the world of East Asian pop culture. Hopefully. I don't know. Maybe. We could try. We'll try. I'm Petey Rave, your man with no plan. Here with me, as always, is my friend, Brandon Cooper, aka King Cass. How you doing, Cass?
I'm doing exceptionally well. If you want to get started on K-pop like we did, you start at 2NE1, and then you listen to everything they ever put out, and then you listen to Big Bang, and then you get a YG bias, and then you get a JYP bias somewhere in there. I'm not sure where, but you find it, you get a JYP bias. Then you come back to YG, and then you realize that they never put out an album on time, and you get pissed, and then you realize at some point they're probably going to disseminate 2NE1, and then you get even madder. And then you're caught up.
Yes. And now you're here. Of course, we turn. Generally, we talk about music at the top of the show, but now I think we're going to expand to to more stuff. We're actually going to just check in general what's new with each other. Kind of just bring new things. I'll start us off. Since I'm the one proposing the segment, I'm the one that's prepared. So I'm the only one who thought up the segment in the first place. Yeah. That's fair.
Like you created the segment, so you had an idea of how you wanted it to work.
Exactly. So I'm just going to bring up a couple of things. Nothing that major, just going to bring a couple of things. This week, this past couple of weeks, actually, have been partially checking out a couple of new dramas. K-dramas. A couple of notable ones, for a couple of reasons. First, one show called My Lovable Girl, or My Lovely Girl, or variation thereof, starring a couple of people we know, or we are aware of, namely, Crystal, and Rain. This is their drama. And I've been checking out. I actually finished it. I actually watched the whole thing. And I have to say, it really does have a lot of bright spots. Crystal is fantastic on it. Rain does a really good job on it. And it does progress well, and it's actually kind of interesting because the story is, Rain is kind of a big times old, songwriter that's kind of, makes hit after hit, producer, songwriter guy, who makes hit after hit, but his girlfriend 3 years ago dies in a car crash, in a very very dramatic car crash that doesn't look like it could cause a fatality, but that's stunts in K-dramas for you.
Is it very fucking like TV daytime? Like, oh no, what? No. Like, right.
Where the truck, you see the truck approach. It's the first scene you see the truck. There's like a whole pileup. Rain gets out of the car in a huff because they had an argument because she thinks he's cheating, and then he gets out of the car in a huff, and then there's this big crash that they all watch intently and stare at further down the road. That lasts a good amount of time. Nobody moves at all. They just stare at it. And then there's this truck that careens towards them, stops, and kind of hits the front of the car. Does not crumple the front of the car. Does not crumple the top of the car. Does not do anything. Just causes some whiplash to the passenger, the girl, who, by the way, was wearing her seatbelt. And then she dies. In Rain's arms, as you can see in the still of the trailer, of the first episode. That aside, it does create a dramatic moment. He kind of shies away from the world of music and blah blah blah. Long story short, that lady's younger sister is played by Crystal, and and she's an aspiring singer-songwriter, and she's like on the run from loan sharks, who are kind of those comical Korean gangsters. You know, they're usually like they're these fat guys who act all semi mean and chase her around. So it has some comical moments there. And then like they meet because he's been looking for the sister. Mm-hmm. And then like the whole plot is them kind of, you know, keeping the secret from her that he was his sister's girlfriend, or his sister's boyfriend, that he was her sister's boyfriend, the one that didn't show up at the funeral or whatever. And that whole central plot line, he gets her a job at the agency that his dad is the president of, but he makes him be the president of when he's sick. All that stuff. But I think the acting was really well done. Like they actually bring a little bit of nice life to the characters. And overall it has some really good moments. Nobody really is as silly as the plot would lead you to believe they would be. I think everybody does a good job of being, you know, normal, fun characters and interesting characters, except for the one producer guy who's kind of comical, still proper villain. But everybody else is kind of level-headed and actually kind of fun and likable.
You always have to have your villain. Like, you can't not ever have a villain in these shows. Like, there always has to be a bad guy.
Yeah. But everybody else actually, even though those are the ones that make mistakes and the ones that are kind of aren't the leads, are actually interesting and you sympathize with, and they all work really well. I think it's a show that I wouldn't say would be one of the best shows, but the acting elevated quite a bit. I would say it's a good show that the acting elevated. So I would say go check it out. You might like it. You know, Crystal, I'm hoping for more from Crystal. She was the only bright spot in that errors sinkhole. Was Crystal and her oh my god. And that couple was fun. So Crystal is fantastic, and Rain is fantastic too in this show, so go check it out. And I would say at the end it does end a little odd. It just kind of ends. There
is a show, I don't know if I've ever told you to watch it yet, but there's a show called Coffee House, right?
Yeah.
And I kind of watched it relatively like right after Coffee Prince. And there's this kind of weird thing, right, where I'm like, like you think it's gonna go one way, and you're like, okay, then it gets to the middle and you're like, wait, this isn't going how I thought it was gonna go. And then like it keeps going the way you didn't think it was gonna go till the end, and then it just kind of, like, there's an ending, but you're just like, that is not how I thought it was gonna go.
Like, it doesn't quite do that, but I will say it does the you know, the build up to the romance, and the, you know, they get together and they kind of have reasons why they kind of split up. They get together and they kind of have emotional reasons why they split up, not just like random things, but you know, the big one is the fact that she finds out that he's the boyfriend that she knew of, but that didn't go to the funeral, and all that stuff. And then like the dad disapproves because of, you know, the old girlfriend, you know, and all that. And then at the end, they do at the last episode, I know we're good, but hey, I'm gonna leave for a year. I think I'm gonna bail out. I'm gonna leave for a year. And then you do the time skip where in the last episode, you say 1 year later, all these things happen. This character.
Did they do the Coffee Prince time skip?
Yes, the Coffee Prince time skip. There was a lot of fun stuff added, like the fact that the secondary female lead is now the president of the agency, and like because like the guy stuck to like songwriting instead of being president, and like, where were you for a year? And then she like comes back like, she's like, I'm back. I'm sorry. It's like, And then the end, and then like at the end they just hug.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay,
All right, that's the thing.
that's the thing. It's like, okay, like fine. So it's not exactly. I would say I wouldn't put it up there with the elites of the K-drama world. But it like I said, it's a good show that's elevated by the acting. It disappoints with the ending, but elevated by the acting. Another show that's interesting, I'm still in the middle of checking it out, is Tomorrow's Cantabile.
Yeah, you've been talking about this show a lot.
Yeah, I mentioned it, otherwise it's the Korean adaptation of the manga, Nodame Cantabile. They're very specific in saying that they're adapting the manga, not the drama. I think specifically so that they don't get too many like complaints about, the differences between this and like the drama, the Japanese drama, or say the anime or whatever. But it's a property that's been adapted quite a few times. Apparently, so this show has had a little bit of a hype behind it for two reasons. For that, the fact that it's a property that's been adapted a couple of times. It's very well known, very well liked, and two, because it was co-produced by Drama Fever.
Oh God, not another one.
I will say, so far, it's only like halfway through. It's like 11 episodes, so a little bit more than halfway through. Since now we're doing 16 episodes of shows nowadays. Apparently that's a new number, which is kind of cool. I think it compacts things really well, but that's a whole other discussion. But it so far, what it does well is it's funny. It's really fun.
Okay.
Our boy Gongyu, no, not Gongyu, Juwon, Juwon. He's pretty good at it. He's pretty good at being the dick, the kind of the dick male lead, who's very focused on his classical music and his being by the book, and it's very classic. And he's the by the book guy, and she's the wild girl who doesn't clean up after herself and is bubbly and cute and crazy and follows him around and the actress actually does a really fantastic job of playing that character. So I should describe the actual plot of the show. Okay, so it is based on the hit manga by Tomoko Ninomiya. It's a fun-filled, quirky, romantic story of two musicians who discover that together they can create music that makes their heart soar. So Juwon plays a kind of protege pianist, sometimes violinist, but mainly conductor, who grew up loving classical music and wanting to study, in Europe. But we get hints of this trauma that involved like a plane accident. That's his big reason why he can't fly away. So he's biding his time at this music school where you meet all these characters that make up the kind of the people that are around him. You meet different people that are brought in as special. You meet the one guy that's brought in as a special maestro conductor, who's apparently a German-Korean adoptee. Master von Stresemann. He's Korean, but he's from Germany. Apparently, his name is von Stresemann, or something, von Stresemann. And he's a maestro, and he creates this. So there's already an orchestra, like with the musical. There's always a main orchestra. He decides to kind of make a ragtag other orchestra, pulls these other kind of what people in the school like to term as the leftovers. So kind of the ones that were not quote unquote good enough, and kind of made the S orchestra. So a lot of the early plot is about him going back from supporting that S orchestra to kind of abandoning the S orchestra to focus on the main orchestra. And then there's supposed to be a contest to decide which one gets dissolved because the school can't support two orchestras. And that's the early drama. it's all a little weird, and that von Stresemann character kind of is hard to read because he created this orchestra, then now he's abandoning them. He's deciding that he doesn't like them and he wants to go to the main orchestra, or wants to, and then it's a little confusing. But I think it's really held together by the fun characters and the humor. I think it's good. I don't know if I love it yet. I don't know even really if I super like it, but I'm enjoying a lot of the moments, and I'm enjoying the characters. I'm enjoying especially the Nade, the main female character. I think so far it's good. I don't know. I'll have to see how it develops. I'll have to see how it develops. So we'll have to see. We might talk about it in the future. If it really grows and really grows on me, I might bring it up in the future. But so far, maybe good. And the characters are what's kind of keeping me in there. But that being said, those are a couple of dramas worth checking out. Let's get into kind of other things that we. Yeah, speaking about new things this week, let's pick the right scene and let's talk about music. Kaz.
Yeah, let's do it.
What have you been listening to this week? What music has caught your attention this week?
I've been doing a lot of so usually when I'm gaming or cleaning or whatever, kind of just those general things where you're gonna have either really stale sounds or the same sounds over and over again. I always go to music. So, in the order I forgot to put it in, you have Yuhu-sung, Always Be With You, which is a really, really good ballad song, which, as you know, we generally do 3 to 4 songs in our picks, and I couldn't find a third song, so I went over to 1K.
1K.
YouTube. One the K's YouTube channel and kind of searched around, and this kind of caught my attention right off the back, and I was really, really enjoying what I heard of it, and I kind of loved the style of the video as well. It just him playing a piano in these 2 different scenes, and then as the video goes on, it kind of tries to tell a little story, but just really nicely shot. And just a good song. I don't know. It just kind of caught my attention when I was looking for a third song.
A nice little piano ballad. A nice little, you kind of a love song. Make you feel the feels. Yeah. Very dreamlike video. Yeah, it's a really cool song. It's very kind of dreamy. Very cool.
Yep.
But yeah. Moving on. What else you got for us?
So something that kind of came across my attention was this T.L. Crow. I almost called it clown. T.L. Crow, zombie killer with animation crew. Yes. I had no idea who these guys were, but so I decided to check it out, and I really actually enjoyed the rapping in it.
Yeah. It's actually really cool. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, so I need to do some more research on the animation crew and TL the Clown. I keep calling it Crown or Crow. I mean Clown, but it's Crow. TL Crow. It says it's a crossover hip hop team of 3 members, 1 rapper, Effective Kim beatbox and rap, and Hunjae vocal. But yeah, it just kind of, I thought it was really cool. So I want to definitely hear more from them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a really cool little track. It was clever. It was fun. It was really well done and kind of funny at spots, but mostly really kind of cool and stylish. I like the style and the flow of it. It worked really well. It really showcases the strength of kind of the depth that I think, I don't know if we try to tell people about the depth of Korean hip hop. there's a good depth chart out there. There are some good ones at the top. You got your epic highs and your dynamic duos, and even your big bangs in the idol world. But there's some depth out there. There is a nice cornucopia of talented rappers out there to check out. So go and check them out.
And if you go to like 3 minutes in, there's some like actual beatboxing stuff, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. I wish they would have let him beatbox on his own. They kind of do a little bit of drowning him out with the actual beat. Like it's hard to really pick it out, but it's really cool. To kind of listen to it. If they had kind of let him just stand on its own, it would have been really cool. But yeah, it's really cool. The beatboxing is nice. But yeah, what else have you got for us, Kaz?
I got one of my favorite groups to listen to when I'm kind of playing video games and music is BAP. And one of their songs that had released earlier this year, Power, is kind of something that always kind of comes up and gets me amped up when I'm playing video games. So BAP Power is one of my favorite songs from the boys over at BAP.
Mm-hmm. I got the power.
Yeah.
It's going back to that powerful style that we dug from them, going from their One Shot and Warrior and even like Hurricane. That style, like it. Not that I don't dig Chunsa, the Angel song, the 1004, or kind of the more ballady stuff.
I'm not, like that's where we'll differentiate. I only love the power, fast-paced stuff from BAP.
Yeah.
Like I love that kind of stuff. I will say the Unplugged album, I liked the one song that's on there. It's okay, but
yeah, this
is the type of stuff I love from BAP.
You the real BAP. Right here. I'll look at this and say, you the real BAP. And I think this is where their strength lies. I think the other stuff, I understand why they got to do it. And they don't do a bad job of it. And I like, like I said, I like Chunsa as a song. But yeah, this is their strength and this is their bread and butter. And I think where they really truly shine with their powerful stuff with BAP. Yeah, I'm hoping for more of this from BAP. I really am.
Yeah. This is the type of stuff they need to continue to do. Like this, like you could do one or two of the other kind of songs on a record, but the rest of the record needs to be filled with shit like this, because this is really, really, really where you're fucking like, where you're great, and like where everything is really good from you.
BAP needs to go HAM. But yeah, so some of the music that I've been listening to as I monopolize this first half of the show, for some of the music that I've been listening to, I'm gonna keep it on the boy group tip, and talk about GOT7. GOT7 kind of came out with their new track, Haji Hajima, or Stop It, kind of an odd title, but an interesting video and actually a pretty cool song. Really well done song. It's kind of that GOT7 style, very similar to, I think, less playful than, just as playful as I think maybe a little bit less, but really well done. It's got their dance style, it's got their mix of guys. Jackson now has kind of that more high profile with his success on Roommate, but it's very JB focused, which is interesting. But it has time travel, which is weird. And I don't know. I don't know. Maybe is it time travel or is it dimensional travel? I don't know.
I thought it was all a dream.
And then like, and then he read Word Up magazine. I don't know. But yeah, he sees himself and then he falls and then he's suddenly somewhere else wearing that outfit. But yeah, the song's good. The dance is really well done. It's GOT7's kind of main draw is their kind of combination of the catchy song with really quality dancing. As your boy Jackson. fantastic song. But I had to say, come on. I will have to say one thing. Them overalls, no.
Half of the outfits in this video, I'm just like, what? What do you have on? Does that collar have a zipper on it?
It's like, no. Homie, no. Like, come on. Look at them overalls. It's like, are you serious? At least Jackson has the good sense to put a sweater over the overalls to kind of cover up the straps. So it's like,
they're trying to like put a gold chain on everyone.
Yes.
And stripes on everyone.
Stripes. And then now you get the leather overalls. Like, the overalls
going all P. Diddy with that shiny ass suit.
Yes. With the leather jacket and leather overalls. And it's like,
I like this song, but I thought the dance was lazy as fuck.
Yeah. They could do better. They usually do better dance wise. Yeah, I'd forgotten that the dance is a little bit lazy. It's good, but yeah, it's not much. I think we'll have to see like the live performances because a lot of the what we don't see is filled with like the story or the single shots. So
yeah,
I hopefully maybe that I mean I can't imagine why they're hiding the good stuff and only leaving it for the live performances.
I mean, because just that is like the whole dance pretty much.
The body rolls. Just them body rolls.
Yeah,
and then the thing they recycled from A.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a little lazy. It kind of you kind of come to expect more from GOT7. I think even though they are a young group, they do have a little bit more in them. But we'll see in the live performance. But yeah, this was still a pretty cool song, and I dug it. But the overall's got to go. No. And I know they're JYP. I know they're like their legacy is the plastic pants, but come on.
Yeah. Moving on. What else you got?
But moving on. We're going into Nugu Awareness Week. There's a headline in the
What up, new bitches?
Nugu Awareness Week. A couple of videos. We got a group that debuted this year with a catchy song that I don't know if we necessarily caught on, or most people probably don't remember, was Ear Attack. But a group by the name of Bad Kids. Bad Kids or Bad Kids, I don't know how you want to kind of say it. Kind of the cool kids on the block.
Bad Kid.
Mm-hmm.
Don't. I know you want to put the D in there, but you can't. It's Bad Kids.
Yeah, I definitely want to put the D in there, but they came back with the song called Babamba. And they're full on going really super catchy, odd, quirky.
Yeah.
And it's actually a really fun song and definitely a fun video, but like it's a really fun song.
This is another one. I'm going to say kind of a lazy dance.
Well, I will say like the lazy as far as complex choreography, but it is kind of daring in the fact that they kind of go full on like and are willing to kind of do the headbang, which is not something that you would normally see in
that part dance. Is stable, and they're like, then they go, huh. Like
yeah. It is kind of meant to be more fun and easy to follow, though it is a bit lazy. But just an important PSA: real thugs ride segways. It's just but it is ultimately it's a pretty fun song. It's pretty catchy, kind of crazy, a little wacky, but ultimately fun. And I really dug it. And I may be jamming it quite a bit. It's kind of giving me that if Crayon Pop decided to go full Illjin concept, full school bully concept,
Yeah.
this would be that. This is that Illjin concept.
How long do you think this little kind of thug concept is going to last for them? I think this is all we ever see of this. And then next we get, like, just overly cutesy.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah. Chances are, yeah. They're just going to go, all right, let's just do a cutesy. But we're going to enjoy the Illjin concept while we still got it. But yeah, moving on to more Nugu Awareness Week. We got a new track by a group that had a little bit of a schizophrenic debut. They kind of had a quirky beginning debut track, and then they had what seemed to be kind of Aegyo rap silliness. A couple of tracks before, not the best track, but they seem to have kind of fallen back into a good place concept-wise. And I'm talking about Pundengi with Bechubo Sam.
Wait, what? I'm sorry, bitch, what?
Bechu Bosan. Or cabbage. Bechu as in cabbage. Bosam, which I don't know. I think it's dialect. I think that's Satori. I think that's some kind of countryside dialect for something that I'm not aware of. Because this song and video, it's very countryside influence. Like this is countryside pop. And the video, first of all, the video is like them doing a deal out in the factory for some cabbage, and it is this ridiculous fun video for this really ridiculously catchy song. That I just couldn't help be infected by. What did you think, Kaz?
It's silly, and it comes across a lot more silly than the Bad Kids one does.
Yeah.
So you forgive it for a lot of stuff, and you kind of just go along and have fun with it.
Yeah. It's really really fun, kind of silly, and it's really kind of a really fun beat, really fun song, and they do well. But yeah, it is you do forgive quite a bit for the silliness, but the silliness really does win you over. It's so super fun and catchy. And the suits, man, those suits.
Yeah.
With the pictures. And I think I'm appreciative of any group that, like Crayon Pop, is willing to not take themselves seriously in any way whatsoever, and just kind of have fun. And I think they're doing a good job of it here with the song
definitely.
and this video. But yeah, Nugu Awareness Week. Hope everyone's enjoying it. We're gonna have a little bit more of in our headlines, but that's it for the first half of our show.
New music, yeah.
Well,
mainly new music.
Mainly new music.
I don't know why I ever really say new music.
Yeah. But that's it. We're gonna go into our headline segment, our tail end, our other half of the show. So why don't you join us over there? Over there. Or over there. Over there. All right, folks, welcome back to Headlines, where we talk about some of the latest happenings and goings on in the world of East Asian pop culture. Kind of gonna talk about it and go through it. Let's start with the first headline. K-pop group wears Nazi-like uniforms. Controversy ensues. So there's a nugu group again. Nugu Awareness Week.
A nugu group?
Yeah. By the name of Pritz. You probably don't know who they are, but they are.
Never heard of them.
Exactly.
They're cute as fuck, though.
Yeah. This is Pritz. They're a South Korea pop group. Again,
They could put me in a gas chamber any day.
and during a recent performance at a horse track, they wore outfits that drew comparisons to Nazi uniforms. I wonder why. I don't know. Do you see it, Kaz? Do you see it?
Is it? I don't know. I mean, black is kind of a standard color. I don't, maybe it's the red armband that almost symbolizes something. I'm not sure though. I'm not sure. I mean, all right, come on. All right, hold on, right? It's only the armband.
Yes.
Saying that they have on all black and then they have on the armband is not saying that they're wearing a Nazi uniform. Their armband is resemblant of maybe a Nazi swastika. Maybe. Yes. It's an X. It's not doing this thing that the swastikas do. But, I mean, come on, man. Yes. Does that duck look like it hates Jews? Yes. But it's a fucking duck. Leave the gun.
Yes. I forgot this. Actually, the funny thing is I forgot to switch out the articles because I think the Asian Junkie article, like always, usually actually does a little bit better of a job of kind of talking about it. And I forgot to, and I didn't link it in the doc, but I will link it in the show notes. So just you, don't worry out there. I will link it in the show notes. Rookie girl group Pritz have come under fire from K-netizens after one of them noticed their recent uniforms look like those worn by Nazis. Though I suppose the Arrow cross-party are contenders as well. Talk about it that. It wouldn't make it any better. Either way, an official from their agency, Pandagram, denied all charges. This was, and I think Asian Junkie kind of chalked it up to smart media play. Make it all just noticeable enough and hopefully somebody picks up on it or even leak it out to the media yourself, but make it different enough so you have a plausible deniability. Then you can change the fashion, but you still get your unknown group from an unknown company attention. Solid effort.
I mean, if it's drama for drama's sake, good on them because they did what they wanted to do. But if it really is just a slip up, which I almost see it being a slip.
I could very much see it as being a slip up. But yeah. I could definitely understand why it was just a.
I'm not gonna hate them or give them too much grief. Like,
oh yeah, no, we'll forget they exist in 3, 2, 1.
Wait, what?
What? But yeah. So speaking of nugus, or not really nugus, this is speaking of new groups. Not exactly new groups. Actually, speaking of new groups with actually a lot of hype. It's a group that we've been kind of.
We'll give you time to figure out your intro to this, Petey.
Yes.
And then we'll go back.
Okay.
How you doing, ladies and gentlemen?
All right. Speaking of groups and stuff, there's been kind of a lot of a talk of the impending debut of a group, a new girl group by Woolham Entertainment, their first girl group.
Woolham.
And there have been teasers. There have been kind of a kind of word. So far, the teaser images and ultimately the video haven't necessarily impressed. At first, I thought they were kind of just a second-rate A-Pink. And I don't know if they've necessarily changed my mind yet, but we'll see. But with the kind of hype and the buzz about the new group came a few allegations, and at first they kind of were what you hear quite a bit of times. Usually it's like, hey, some of you have heard this before. Hey, new group debuting. Hey, one of those members used to be an Iljin. Hey, I've got proof of that. Hey, I've got proof too. Well, can you substantiate that proof? She's a meanie. And then a lot of people yell, and then everybody forgets what happens, and the group kind of goes on their merry way, either succeeds or fails, depending on the merit of their music, and kind of we move on with life. That's kind of how the story goes. Usually there's often been the story of the new group where we find out supposedly one member used to be a school bully, and beat up other kids and whatnot, and it was kind of mean. It was kind of one of the mean girls was a plastic or whatever, or, it was kind of a dude who smoked with cigarettes and tried to do hood rat stuff with his friends,
I'm loving this more and more. Like the more and more we're starting to get these things of people being like, that person used to be, Thuggio. Yes. And we're just like, isn't that what we're going for?
Yes.
Like, like maybe not in the girl groups, but like kind of just groups. Like in the boy groups and in general, wasn't it kind of like, especially in the rap groups where the person is a rapper and you want them to perceive to be tough. So when allegations of them actually being tough come to light, shouldn't you take this and be like, yo, that motherfucker was tough? Yeah. Like, I love how Korea is it's so more about the boasting than the actuality of being thugged out. Like, yes. You go like, oh yeah, yo, like, I'm a killer in the streets, you know what I'm saying? And then like as soon as somebody's actually like yo, he might actually be like a killer in the streets, like, what? Oh, no, like, he's not really a killer in the streets, like, no.
But yeah, it is.
He got good grades. He was the top of his class.
We get all this stuff, and it's the allegations, and I kind of ignoring them. I kind of didn't, it's not something we ever covered just because it's not interesting. I never really find it interesting, but did this escalate quite a bit. There's a summary of all of the goings on if you really kind of want to read 10,000 words of all this from Kariebu. But Lovelyz Jisoo, accused of sexual abuse, rape, assault, and more.
Whoa.
So, the Lovelyz Jisoo mess, evidence of fabricated. So, the Jisoo was accused of a lot of things. Myriad of things, including, being first of all, the main accusation, I hate calling it an accusation like if it was a crime, is that she was outed by these former classmates as possibly either being a lesbian or bisexual. That's inconsequential. Sexual identity, I again, that pisses me off about them using sexual identity as a crime. Fuck you for that, even trying to do that, but whatever. Even if for the people that did it just as a preface for their actual accusations, where some ex-girlfriends supposedly accuse her of being abusive, being sexually abusive, bringing out evidence of like pictures with like butt plugs and like which turned out to be false. So it's like okay, when scandals like this come out, so many arbitrary claims, partial truths, I understand about conclusions. All right, so they actually list some of the kind of the fabricated proof. So things like the butt plug images, which I won't share on screen just because I don't want to get taken down. Turned out to be porn from the internet. Kind of the selfies turned out to be other people. The nudes turned out to be Japanese GAV, porn stars. JAV porn stars. Motel pics, again, the same porn star. But it's something that even with that evidence, there's a lot of things that aren't necessarily disproven. And there's a lot of things coming from multiple angles and from people with a lot of knowledge and a lot of gumption. it's all very hard to really get into detail about because there's just so much of it as far as allegations, and it goes deep. There's, like I said, a 10,000 word article from Koreaboo kind of summarizing all these unconfirmed rumors. Again, unconfirmed, but there are some things. The pictures from the agency, pictures of schedules that they use as proof, and other selfies and stuff like that. It's one big clusterfuck. At this point, Jisoo is on hiatus while the group is debuting. So they're going through their debut cycle, and one of their members is not getting to participate. Indication might be, at least a speculation, with our boys at Asian Junkie, could be that this would be a moment for Woolham to just kind of brush her aside, regardless of whether these allegations turn out to be true or not. We'll have to see if that happens. Can you make heads or tails of any of this, Kaz?
It just seems like there's a lot of mixed up speculation. Like there could be some truth and some mixture of lies. Like there's a lot of okay, this person did do this, but there's not enough to really say anything. So let's kind of fabricate some stuff. Like maybe she was a bully, maybe she was mean to a previous girlfriend. But it's just one of those things where I fucking see a tweet from All K-Pop about this group premiering in a showcase on Melon. And it could just be a lot of mix, and it's going to be hard to sort through all this shit to actually find any kind of truth and any kind of real allegations as to what this person is or isn't doing,
Yeah, and of course, all of this, leads to logical, reasonable conversation with nuanced approaches where everybody kind of listens to each other, right? It's the internet. So everybody's taking one side or the other and yelling at each other, when really, in all actuality, there really is no evidence to say anything other than we'll see. It's just a lot of yelling, a lot of going back and forth, and really nothing concrete. Obviously, for those of us here, default is she's innocent. As far as default status is innocent till proven guilty. So, as far as we know,
I'll make all the internet people even matter. Hey, she's hot, so
good for her.
Get over it. Move on before I die.
Yes. But yeah. Moving on to actually something a little bit more cool. NBC, not NBC, but MBC, Manhwa Broadcasting. Broadcasting Corporation subtitles 2,300 popular shows. MBC said yesterday that it will provide multilanguage subtitles to 23 of its most popular TV shows, from reality TV to drama series for expats and multicultural families living in Korea. The subtitles will be English, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, and Vietnamese. The shows will include Dad, Where Are You Going?, NBC Show Music Core, Infinity Challenge, and recent hit drama series like The Night Watchman's Journals, and a few others. The shows are available through TV streaming website Pook and on YouTube. We expect this multilingual service to benefit not only non-Korean viewers, but Korean viewers who are studying foreign languages. In addition, viewers are able to look up the meaning of certain words with a few clicks. This is really cool. There's no way around this but saying, good on you, NBC. MBC, not NBC. NBC exactly. Produced 30 Rock. Fuck them. Definitely, holy shit. Much respect for them, man. I just, there's
I'm so excited about this.
Yeah, it's gonna. I think something like this. It's really cool because it's very much like what KBS was been doing with KBS World, and their like
Mm-hmm.
channel over here that's like on DirecTV and a couple other places, and their YouTube channel.
You want to know another thing that interestingly pisses me off? Back in the day on cable and satellite, there used to be a channel called the Asian Network.
Yes.
Yes, a terrible name, I understand. But you know what they did was they got rights to shows to show them on American television, which is where I watched things initially like My Lovely Samsoon. What was the airplane show?
Air City.
Air City, and First Shop on Coffee Prince. Like, that is where I first found all of those shows because I was clicking through the channels and I happened to stop and see them and watch them and then keep coming back every day to like watch the next episode of My Lovely Samsoon or like something else. And like, it just made me sad, like that channel went away and I couldn't watch those things. And then you know what I had to do? I had to go to the internet and illegally torrent those things to be able to watch them because there was no way for me to be able to legally watch them. But now with things like Drama Fever and like you said, KBS World, and now with this that NBC is doing, it gives them that opportunity to one, get more numbers on what people outside of Korea actually want to watch from them, you know? So like it is going to let us as those viewers, as those people who love Korean content, be able to directly now affect that content a lot more by watching those things and having them see like, oh man, there's a lot of people watching this, there's a lot of people watching this, not just inside Korea but outside Korea as well, you know?
Yeah, one of the cool things that KBS World does, and this is probably going to be very much like that, is that it does what they do as opposed to say Drama Fever and Vicky. They get a lot of those shows that maybe aren't quite the core shows that get a lot of sub support. Like Drama Fever, has the dramas taken care of with a few variety shows, but like the big variety shows like Running Man, Infinity Challenge, which they have there, a couple of the big ones. But what's cool about KBS World is they got a lot of the shows that maybe don't have a lot of sub support or don't, people don't kind of aren't into particularly subbing, like Hello Counselor, like Return of Superman, or some of the other shows like the King of Food with Shin Dong Yup, or some of like the other shows that maybe aren't as well known, the smaller shows like Happy Together. And like, where else do you get Happy Together? It's not a show that you get to watch, but those of us that do enjoy that show do check it out. And sometimes you'll discover a show that isn't as popular or isn't as well known outside of Korea because you saw it. Oh, I'll watch this episode of the show because this celebrity I like is on, and I know that it's Yoo Jae-suk too hosting it, so I'll check this out. Oh, Happy Together. This is a really fun, funny show. I'm going to check this out. And then you suddenly start enjoying Happy Together because you had this opportunity to check it out. And it's not something that may have had a lot of, subber support, like support from the subbing community. But it's still a really fun show that might appeal to you or might appeal to certain people or might now get a chance to get noticed and get more popular internationally. So I think that's really cool for some of the other shows. Like Infinity Challenge has you can watch it on Drama Fever. You don't have to worry about the Infinity Challenge. And they have some really great dramas, and you can watch them on Drama Fever or Vicky. But some of the other shows, like the really fun talk shows, the really fun like little variety shows that are on different days that maybe don't have quite
those shows that you sometimes when they don't edit them really really well that you see ads for,
yes.
And you're like, wow, I would love to watch that show. Too bad it's not actually on Drama Fever.
Yeah, no, like Healing Camp. I would love to watch Healing Camp, but You have to like, and like they're the shows that you always see. This and such show. All right, English sub. All right. Such and such cut. It's like, damn it. And it's only like the one dude from the boy band, only his parts, and it's like 5 minutes long. It's only the 5 minutes that one dude from the boy group is on screen and being featured prominently, and then screw the rest of the show because that's all the fangirls give a shit about. While you're thinking, I actually want to watch all of Quiz to Change the World because that seems like a funny discourse show, like Family's Dignity on KBS. So. This is really cool for that specifically. For all the other shows, like Show Music Core, have that subbed. That'd be fun. Similar to how they do Music Bank. So,
Drama Fever used to do the music shows back in the day.
Specifically,
they did Music Core. Oh, you know what? That might be when they weren't. Let's
not talk about those days. The bad old days. Let's not talk about the bad old days.
Yeah,
things are good now. But yeah, it is good news from NBC.
Yeah, I'm super glad about this, and I'm also super glad that they're going to involve YouTube. Like that, like a lot of these, like it's weird because when me and PD started this show, a lot of this stuff was back alley deals to find some of the stuff that we wanted to watch and stuff like that. But then Drama Fever started to get a big pickup. A lot of these news sites started to have a bigger pickup, and like YouTube started to be the greatest course of finding these things.
Yeah. Like legitimately be able to watch shows and support them on YouTube, like and they actually and NBC as a show as a company already has a lot of this stuff on YouTube just there, but a lot of it is raw, of course, just in Korean with no subtitles, but it's all there. So you can watch music performance. You can watch all the music performances from Show Music Core now, and you can check them out.
I mean, and then like you're saying, I would love to see a lot more of those side shows, like Show Me the Money, which I watched.
Yes.
There is no super legal way to watch it, but I watched it, because I wanted to watch it. That show was really interesting to me. That's something I would love to be able to get my hands on legally if I could. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not the point where I'm torrenting or doing these things because I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking pay for that shit. No, it's because like there's no easy legal way to do it, and it's just it's one of those things.
Yeah, like I don't think I would ever have seeked out Happy Together as a show, but I watch it as often as I can, like as often as whenever it's uploaded on YouTube, I'll watch it. That's something I wouldn't even go out and pirate Happy Together because it's not necessarily something I would actively go out and seek. But had I not seen it on KBS World, and discovered it and started digging and I had fun with it. But yeah, good on you, NBC, Manhwa Broadcasting Company. Fighting. All right, so. Speaking of reaching out, collabing, and subbing in multi-languages, we talk about something interesting. So, Funny or Die collaborated with a Korean entertainment company, creating a site called Be Funny. Just simple, Be Funny Studios. And its first big kind of release, its first big project was Steven Yeun and Sandara Park starring in a show, a little 3-episode miniseries called What's Eating Steven Yeun. And I'll have this headline: What's eating Steven Yeun with Sandara Park is the best thing both will ever do. Which is, I love the little headline. What's Eating Steven Yeun is a web series that chronicles Steven Yeun's quest to become a mukbang. The eating broadcast dudes star in Korea.
Yeah. So, all right, hold on. Let's explain a few things. One, Steven Yeun. If you don't know who Steven Yeun is, go watch The Walking Dead. He played Glenn in The Walking Dead. He's been in a few other things. An amazing Korean-American actor. If you don't know who the fuck Sandra Park is, and somehow you're also listening to this podcast...
Sandara.
Right. As much as me and PD talk about Dada, like
old Dada bastard.
Yeah. So yeah, starring these two lovely people. And Mengbong. If you don't know what Mengbong is, it is live streaming you eating. That's literally what it is. It's really popular in Japan and Korea, and in a lot of, I think, just in Asia in general. Like, this is one of those popular things. It's just one of those weird things, which it's not weird to me or PD, because it's the same ilk as saying, like, why do you watch somebody stream video games? Why do you watch somebody talk to each other over the internet? You know, like, we understand this, so it's a pretty easy thing to understand.
Yeah, kind of a little teeny explanation. Mukbang, it literally means eating room or eat room. It's like this like little eating broadcasting rooms that you give, and it's like any cam site, but it's specific eating. So there's tipping. You know, you got they have the great gag in there, which we'll explore with the red balloons, with like the balloons, the star balloons. I mean, yeah. So they have the tipping and the commentary. But yeah, it was a really funny show. Like, Dada is hilarious and adorable. And Steven Yeun holds his own. And God damn it, Dada seeing that video of Steven and getting all jealous and chowing down on that cucumber.
Like, I thought she was gonna take like one big bite out of it, but she's like,
it's like,
and just like that. The first episode is extremely the funniest. So just like, because you get that instant discourse of her speaking Korean and him speaking English, and the translation at the bottom, and then like that one part where he's just like, I don't know what you're fucking talking about.
I don't even know what you just said. It's like, but you don't understand the Korean ways. Like, but you wouldn't be able to be there in Korea. It's like, but I speak Korean perfectly. Like, I'm speaking Korean right now. It's like,
which is also cutely funny if you know that Dara isn't Korean.
Is it like, well, she's Korean, but she grew up quite a bit of her life in the Philippines. Philippines. Had her early career there. She is Korean. She's born and raised. She was born in Korea. She just moved to the Philippines. Kind of had her early career there. Kind of her early, really paying her dues there.
Yeah.
Didn't have the best start, but really paid her dues, and she still has a strong fan base there, and friends and connections, and people that she's collaborated with before, and she'll like go back and like still hang out with like those people that she was on like those like audition shows with in school. But yeah. It's like, it does play on that a little bit, and like so many freaking hilarious moments when he starts to become all up on himself. Like the netizen comments on his first, stream is like, his accent is like Jay Park's.
Yeah, like, who's Jay Park?
Who's this nobody they got on here? Like, it's like they let anybody have their own show now, and then he starts, and then it. So many great moments, like attempted fan death suicide. Like, they established the fan death. For those that don't know, a common Korean kind of what's it called? Not a stereotype. Superstition is that you can't fall asleep with the fan on because you'll die. Apparently. So this is established early. So in his deepest, darkest moment, when he can't even get his old job back, in The Walking Dead, he decides to commit suicide by fan death. And he's like, and he wakes up and is like, oh, I survived fan death. I survived fan death. This is a sign. So I could use a little more.
It's the greatest little thing. But I love the earlier moment where they establish it, where like the dude comes running in like, oh my God, are you okay? He's like, yeah, what's wrong? He's like, come on now, everyone in Korea knows you don't fall asleep with the fan on. You'll die.
Especially in Korea. Right. And then it ends with him trying to win Dada back. Not only by eating a cucumber, which is he established that he hates cucumbers, even picking out cucumbers from his kimbap when he's getting big on himself. But it's doing the Guillaume, which the eat it Guillaume, and it's like Stephen Yeun and Guillaume is not something two things you would expect together.
Nah.
No, and it is really fun, and I'm glad to have experienced it. I love seeing Dada, and I love that she's getting this opportunity, and I hope. It makes me sad to think that it would have to be that way, but I'm hoping she gets more opportunities like this, because 21 is over.
Don't you say it. Yeah. But I mean, there's no way in hell we don't see more.
Yes,
more Dada. Like more Dada. The world has to have Dada in it.
Maybe now this will give them the freedom to have Dada appear on more variety shows.
Oh my God! Please! I
know YG. I know you hate variety shows, but come on, they're fun too.
So I guess we're sticking with YG for our next story.
Yes, we are. So we've been getting a lot of tease. We got a big teaser recently, kind of another one of them what's next teasers.
Yeah.
And
YG loves these like
who's next?
Like YG loves mixing shit up. He just that's what he loves to do. He's just like, hey, who's in that group? All right, take this person, move them over here. Take that person, move them there. Put this person in that group. And everybody's like, you can't. No, we've been working on the album for 2 years. No, don't worry about it. Like,
he also is a big fan of Goldberg because he was always on that who's next tip. So we got a teaser for a YG hip hop project, and all we saw was some gold chains and 5 medallions, all with numbers 1 through 5. Project 1 being the 2 top medallions, so 1 and 2. I'm not going to show the image.
Which in the first one we saw just G Dragon, which led me to make a post over on. Well, yeah, the first one we saw nobody. Then we saw G Dragon, which led me to make a post over on the old Google Plus. You can go over there and check that out, gplus.to/KingKaz, where I made a post saying, asking people who they thought was going to be, and I put my 5 in, saying that I thought it was going to be GD and Top. Which you were also kind of excited for that. And then I thought the youngins, B.I., Bobby, and Mino from Winner.
Yeah.
And B.I. and Bobby from Icon.
Yes.
So I was wrong already.
So we find out it's we found out the first project, which is Project 1, just the 2 of them. It's going to be GD and Taeyang.
Which I don't even know how this didn't cross either one of our minds.
No, and it was one of the ones that was also rumored. I think I saw quite a bit of that. I think we were just specifically hoping for more GD and Top. I think we bet with our hearts rather than with our minds.
Because the amount of pictures and hanging out and calling each other best friends and saying how much they want to just collab together and how much they love working together, fucking GD and Taeyang do. You know what I'm saying? They're always like, oh man, I love working with
those
GD.
leaked pictures of a music video.
Oh, that's my boy.
Also,
Yeah.
those leaked pictures of the music video shoot.
All that went out of our heads, and we were just like, GD and Top will return to the Earth and take over.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, we were ridiculous. But GD and Taeyong, and that's going to be the first project, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be probably reminiscent of that Ring-a-Linga tip, because that being the GD and Taeyong. And it's going to be more of that than anything else that of Taeyong. It's going to be more of that than Eyes, Nose, Lips Taeyong. It's going to be kind of that hip hop project.
Yeah.
So for good or for bad, it's going to be kind of more of that stuff. What's going to be interesting is who the other three are. I will say as much as I want a Big Bang comeback, I don't want this to be the way we find out it's a Big Bang comeback.
Oh my god, I'd be so pissed if then the next one is Delight. Oh, who could it be? God damn it! I swear to God, I swear to God. You
call it a YG hip hop project, a special project, Big Bang.
Nah, I don't think that's what it's gonna be.
I don't think it's what it's gonna be, but there was a part of me in my mind that was like, this isn't gonna be Big Bang, is it? Tell me it ain't gonna be Big Bang, please. Please, for the love of God, tell me it ain't gonna be Big Bang. I mean, I want a Big Bang album. I want new stuff from Big Bang. But this is just this would be the dumbest way to announce it. Which would be right up YG's alley. To have a dumb way and to announce it. So, which is what's scary. But
we've been doing this whole speculation with YG forever, and we did it with their last group thing, which we were totally wrong about all the members in.
Yeah.
Because it's the two girls and Bobby, which we were just like, we were like, okay. No, I think we guessed Bobby was going to be there, and I'm going to guess Bobby's going to be in this again because it's a YG hip hop project. So, I mean,
yeah,
I can't see how they love Bobby right now over at YG, and they're trying to promote him as much as they can,
right.
Especially since he won Show Me the Money,
Yeah. I think I saw some speculation that he would get some veteran presence in the form of Tableau. Do you think he would be a part of this with maybe just a couple of the young guys? Him as Tableau in there, and then a couple of the young guys.
I mean, I'm trying to think what other straight up hip hop or what YG would consider hip hop people that they have, I
mean, they have Epic High, they have a Winner, and they have Icon Ensemble. Those guys from Winner and Icon. CL, but she's busy and she's busy signing with Scooter Braun. They're working on that stuff, so it can't be CL. Or it probably won't be CL.
I mean, initially we were thinking straight up rappers, right?
Yeah.
But you throw Taeyong in there, who's not a rapper. He's R&B singer.
But it does make sense to have him on there because it's good to have the singer with the several rappers kind of as the mix, and that makes sense as the initial project.
So maybe Tableau Top Bobby?
Maybe, yeah.
I can't see how Bobby isn't going to end up in this. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so we're going to have to find out. Obviously, we're going to get this first project on the 21st.
Yeah. So. Knowing how YG announces things, there will be the next medallion will be announced as soon as we end the show.
Yes. And then
that's how these things usually go for us.
Yes. I should probably do a better job of getting these out quicker, but oh well. I'm lazy, and y'all are gonna have to accept that. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see once it comes out. First project comes out on 21st. Second project comes out in December on the 2nd. So we got a bit of time, quite a bit of hype time between the first and the second project. I imagine, again, the way it's grouped, it's going to be the first two and then the whole group. So it's going to be interesting, to say the least. But yeah, hoping for good things from YG, and finally delivering something on time and interesting. But we can only hope. We can only hope and pray. But that's it. That's it for another fine episode of Hallyujuku. Another fun episode. Cass, what have you got going on in your neck of the woods?
Nothing much. Hanging out with the DKG crew, doing stuff over there, working on doing some new photo stuff. So keep an eye on the 500px. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Same. Yeah. We can keep track of him on about.me/KingKaz, about.me/PDRave, twitch.tv, Drunk Kids Gaming, twitch.tv/KingKaz, twitch.tv/RebelliTV. Cause, I know I'm in it, you're in it, and, Drew's in it, and I think a couple other people, Heroes of the Storm Technical Alpha. We might get together, throw some games together, and start stream that on the RebelliTV stream, so keep an eye out for that. I'd never actually asked any of the guys, but hey, wanna do some Heroes streaming? Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So keep an eye out for that. We'll do some fun stuff because I actually kind of, I was playing a little bit with Drew, in our own time. I actually really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to kind of doing more of that. So look out for that. More streaming, more fun stuff from us. But that's it. I'm Peter Ray of He's King Kaz. Until next time, hasta los huevos. Annyeong.
Annyeong.